Hey everybody, this is Kelly, and I've been wanting to do this video for a while. My husband actually encouraged me to do it, and here we go. This is actually a subject that you're not going to read about probably when you get pregnant and you're reading books. You probably won't come across this. It's something that unless you specifically search for this topic, no one's going to talk about it. So I wanted to put it out there because I wish somebody had told me about it when I was pregnant and looking for advice. But I just didn't know about it. So here we go. So when I was pregnant with my son, I had envisioned the way the birth was going to go, how I envisioned how, I had the rose-colored glasses on, and I was like, everything is going to be this way and that way. I had the birth plan, and, it's just going to be wonderful. And everything was opposite of that. I'm not going to go into details, but when you think of your birth with your child, typically you think of, the moment the doctor puts the baby on your chest, or if you have a C-section like I did, the moment you hear the baby and you see the baby, the moment you get to hold the baby. You imagine, the clouds parting and angels singing and just overwhelming love and like love at first sight, and it's, you imagine that automatic bonding that you have with your child. Now, I guess most of the time that's probably true, that does happen, but it's not the case with everybody. And it sure took me by surprise. I guess, like the moment I heard my son's cry, I was overwhelmed with emotion. I started to cry, and that was an amazing moment. And then seeing him when they brought him over and holding him for the first time, there was just fear, basically. That's kind of what I felt, was fear. And then he was in the NICU for for 2 days, basically. So the whole time we were there, I really didn't get much, time holding him, and he really didn't even need to be in the NICU, turns out. But anyway, whatever. And then they turned us loose and said, okay, here's your baby, take him home. And I really hadn't had much experience holding him or anything, basically. So when we got him home, I started having the anxiety and the depression, and I just remember feeling so much fear, and it was getting in the way of bonding with Eli. And I feel like I had so much guilt about this. It was unbelievable, because you go through, especially when you're a first-time parent, you go through all of these feelings. You, first of all, have chemical things going on. You have all the hormones. And, well, when you have a C-section, too, you don't have the natural oxytocin stuff happening, and that may have something to do with it, but so here I am, have to take care of this baby. I'm like, what do I do? And then you also have these identity issues going on. Like, I remember I felt special when I was pregnant. I felt really special. I was, growing a child, and that was amazing. And then all of a sudden, he's not in there anymore, and everyone's paying attention to the baby. And I mean, it is really selfish. You feel like you're just nothing anymore. You're just like, oh, okay. She's done. She's the baby's not in her anymore, you know. But I know that that's not the case. It's just I was having all of these thoughts and feelings. Bless you, baby. Bless you. And so I remember just going through this, and as time goes on, the feelings became stronger. It's almost like all of a sudden you have this little stranger, you know? It's like this little stranger, I don't know you. I mean, you were living inside of me, but now you're out here and I don't know who you are. And that's almost like, it was like, yeah, I love you because you're my child, but that feeling, that connection, and I was so worried about it and so guilty, and I felt so much shame. And I remember telling my husband, I finally broke down and told him about how I felt, and I just knew he was going to, think I was a terrible person. And he's like, oh, he felt so relieved because he felt the same way. Which doesn't surprise me because we're like, feel and think the same things. It's crazy. But anyway, he felt the same way. And I mean, now, obviously, I would die for my child, like my children. Like, there's no question. Like, he is my heart, and my daughter is, and it's just, there's no question at all. I'm just talking about initially, you're bonding with your newborn. So he felt so much better after talking to me about it, and I felt so much better after talking to him. And so that's, I want to put that, and then once that happened, I kind of went online and I was like, does this happen to other people? Am I the only one? And it does. It happens to a lot of people. And I suspect it happens to more people than they care to admit, because admitting that you have trouble bonding with your newborn is a really major thing, I mean, it's hard to admit it to yourself, let alone other people. And also, I want to put this out there too, not only for moms having this issue, but for dads as well, because I believe it's probably harder for fathers to feel that connection because, they didn't carry the baby. They don't have the chemical things going on. So I would really encourage you to talk openly with your husband. If you're having those feelings, discuss it with him, have open communication, and then make sure he's not having those feelings too. Because, you may not want to tell him about it because you're going to be afraid of how he's going to take it, and then vice versa. So I just think it's really, really important to support each other. And just know that it is normal, okay? It doesn't feel normal. It feels horrible. But it's normal. And then, when I had Eden 7 weeks ago, the bonding was a little bit better at first. It wasn't full on though. I'm still working on it. It's 8 weeks later now. And I'm still working on it. I mean, I love her. Don't get me wrong. But each day I'm getting to know her more and more, and just the love is just increasing every day. And my husband, of course, feeling the same way. He's like, yeah, it was better this time around, but still not fully there. And of course, I had another C-section, which could play into it, but I didn't have all the trauma like I did the first time. So, and just being more experienced with having a kid before, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't have, the fear's not kind of there, but yes, I do have the anxiety and depression issues. So, I'm just kind of laying it all out for you to tell you my experience, and if you haven't had your baby yet, I want you to know that this could happen. It's not saying it's going to happen, but I really wish somebody would have told my husband and I that this is a possibility. Okay, and that's why I'm putting it out there, because I don't want you to, oh, what's wrong with me? I don't love my baby like everybody else does. And because, you know, like, I used to watch the baby shows on television and watch the births and stuff, and everybody's like, oh, you know, oh, I just love my baby, oh. And I'm like, oh, this, you know, that's wonderful. But I just have a feeling that some people say that, but aren't really feeling it because of the guilt involved. I could be wrong, but that was just my experience. I think that's all I wanted to say. And just please, I mean, I don't think men are watching this, but if you are, know that it's normal for men too. So, yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much, everybody, for all of your kind words over these past few videos that I've done, and just kind of putting things out there. I've gotten so many wonderful responses, and I want to thank you so much. It means a lot to me. I'm feeling so much better. And, you know, if I can help one or two people in the process, that just means the world to me. So, thanks again, and thank you all for watching. I love everybody. Hugs, and God bless. Bye-bye.